in, I decided to change things up a little bit. Normally, I do all of my broadcasting from my studio, but I decided to set things up at a different desk and go live from over here. So I have a business center here. In my business center, I have my studio desk and I have my working desk, which is where I'm sitting at now. And I also have my prayer desk. And if I have a lot of interviews going on and trying to do lives and things of that nature, I find myself spending so much time at my studio desk that I wanted to see if I could change it up. So that's why I got a little bit of a different background because I am broadcasting from my work desk. All of that aside, I am here to really continue on my quest of encouraging you to go after your promotion. And today, I actually want to talk about 3 steps you can take to shine a light on your promotable skills. Now, before I get too far, I do think it is worth me introducing myself just in case someone is new following me and haven't had a chance to see me live on social media. I am Denise Taylor. I wear a number of hats. The main thing I am focused on in this season is helping us build a life we love and helping us to continue to advance our careers. Now, I've been talking about building a life we love for a few years now. And in this season, I am doubling down on building success in our careers or getting success in our careers because we spend a great deal of our waking time at work and investing ourselves at work. And I want you to have right expectation for a good return to you from the work experience that you are investing yourselves into each and every day. So I have had a great career. I have amassed a tremendous amount of success, and now I am paying it forward by working with women. I work with women to build the skill savvy and momentum to get the career success that they want and deserve. And so, what I am doing in this season is I am disrupting this notion that good work is what it takes to get you promoted because it takes far more than good work. Good work is just the table stakes of what keeps your seat occupied on your team, in your job, and in your role. But if you want to get promoted, you're going to have to do some different things that shines a light on your promotable skills. You're going to have to do some things that shows that you can make an impact to the organization. Essentially, what I want you to know is what got you to where you are is not what's going to get you to the next levels of success that you want. And in this season, I am helping women who are ready to accelerate their careers and get to the next level, make that happen. And I'm really excited about it. I especially love working with women of color. I especially love working with first generation leaders because as women of color and first generation leaders, we tend to lead with our strengths, which means that we have been spending a great deal of time proving to them that we are available, that we are capable, and that we can get things done. We essentially know how to make things happen. As first generation leaders, we lead with our strengths because our strengths are what are opening doors for us and getting us into opportunities. But what I want you to know is that at some point in time, your strengths will not be enough, and you will need to know how to develop some promotional or promotable skills that show to your leaders you're ready for that next level. And so I want to spend a little bit of time today talking about the 3 things that you can do to shine a light on your promotable skills. Now, here's the reason why it's necessary, because when we are conditioned to lead with our strengths, we are indeed overcomers. We know how to overcome hardship. We know how to overcome limited resources, and we know how to overcome the struggles that may have been in our family. And because we know how to do that, we usually find that our strengths do the trick. Like whatever it is that we're trying to accommodate and whatever it is we're trying to succeed at, usually our strengths do the trick and we can just try hard and it happens for us. But we reach this point in our career where that's no longer enough. It doesn't do the trick anymore, and we find ourselves plateauing and we find ourselves stalling out. The momentum isn't happening for us. And then before we know it, it's been a number of years and we have not had any career movement. I posted last week on my social media that when you're in a position for years, 3 to 5 years, and you're not experiencing career movement, then chances are you need to get connected to something or someone who can help you generate some momentum in your career. And so I know for myself, when I reached a certain level and things stalled out for me, I had to start doing some things differently. Success was eluding me, and I had to do some things differently so that I could make some things open up and begin to happen for me. And so, what I want to advocate, what I want you to know is that your promotion is about your potential. It is not about your performance. It is not about the good work that you've been doing. And so, in order to get yourself in position for promotion, you've got to do some different things. And I want to talk a little bit today about shining a light on those promotable skills. So, the fact of the matter is, you've done good work. You're progressing in your career. You gotten to a certain point, you stalled out, and now you want to know how to activate and get to the next levels. And that's what I want to help you with today. So the first thing that you can begin doing today to shine a light on your promotable skills is look for ways to add uncommon value. I want you to look for ways to add uncommon value. This is more than just doing good work. This is about getting strong results. Managers gravitate to problem solvers. There's this whole notion and perspective that he who solves problems get paid. Managers gravitate to people who are solutionists. What problems are you solving? Because that next big win is not going to come from you doing the work you're expected to do. That next big win is going to come from the ideas and innovation and improvement that you are bringing to the table beyond what's expected. It's actually looking at how you can go above and beyond the regular duties to really demonstrate that you can handle more complexity. I'm not talking about more time. I'm talking about more ability or skill to handle complexity. You have to demonstrate that you can do that. And that comes from your ability to solve problems, to ideate, to think about the ideas, to think about the innovations, to think about the improvements. How can you add uncommon value? That's what's going to make a difference in your ability to shine light on being ready for that next level where they're looking for solutions to do things better, to be more innovative, and to drive improvements within the environment. And so you have to be willing to shine a light on your ability to add uncommon value. You see, many of the people that you sit next to, all of y'all are doing a good job. That's the reason why all of y'all are still sitting there. Managers are responsible for dealing with trouble employees. So the fact that you're still there means that you're doing enough to occupy your seat. Look for ways to add uncommon value. The second thing is to be intentional about blossoming before their eyes, which means that you're doing the things that are expected, but how are you at identifying the skills and competencies that show you are highly valued in the organization? Meaning, What do you bring to the table that says you understand the business, that understand the organization, and that you're taking proactive steps to develop your understanding? I'm not talking about the job related skills, but what can you talk about when it comes to the industry, when it comes to what is valued in the workplace to move the needle and really blossom before their eyes? Now, I'm not, this could be the soft skills that are necessary to exhibit leadership. This could be what is something that's going to help us be game changing in how we are servicing our customers. How are you blossoming and showing them your willingness to acquire knowledge and to grow? This isn't how you're performing, it's talking and shining a light on your capability and your willingness to grow. And then finally, number 3 is prioritizing meaningful relationships. And when we come into this whole experience, we often come from having to prove ourselves. And so we don't really gravitate to forging relationship in a good way. So if you want to get to the next level, I say it all the time, the handle of that door that's in the next level's room, it's on the inside. So who is opening the door for you? And this is about forging relationships so that the conversations that are happening in that room that you're not seated in, where choices and decisions are being made about what and who is going to be a part of that next level experience. You need somebody in there that's talking about you, that has knowledge of you, that's aware of what you bring to the table. And so we got to drop this I make it on my own vibe that many of us show up with, this independent nature that we show up with. And we have to be willing to develop strong relationships with the leaders in our colleagues that are influential in your organization. This is critical for career advancement. You've got to be willing to prioritize meaningful relationships and actively seek them out, actively seek out building connection within your organization. And I know so many people will say, I'm an introvert. I don't really like to get down with people like that. I'm an introvert too, but you've got to forge meaningful relationships. You've got to be willing to just be surface level, and you've got to be willing to forge that connection. And so those are the 3 things that you can do today to shine a light on your promotable skills. You can look for ways to add uncommon value. You can be intentional about blossoming before their eyes, and you can begin forging and prioritizing meaningful relationships. Now, here's my bonus tip, is that you got to figure out how to hype yourself up. You've got to talk about your experiences. You've got to talk about the value in the results that you bring to the table. You must stop being undercover with your growth and your greatness. We have this whole perspective about moving in silence. That does not work in corporate America. You got to be willing to talk about the success you're delivering and the value that you can add. You've got to shine a light on your potential and stop thinking that they should know. You should be stepping up to express it and explain it and offer it and to toot your own horn. That is extremely necessary. And so many of us don't do it because we assume they should know it. We assume that our work speaks for itself. It takes more than that. You have to show up differently and shine a light on your promotable skills if you want to get promoted. So this whole mentality about they should know, or my work speaks for itself, or I come into a room and I just take over just with my presence, is not enough. You got to talk about it. You got to forge relationships. You got to add some uncommon value, and you got to blossom before their eyes. Now, the one key thing is these 3 steps about getting promoted is exactly what I help my clients with every step of the way. Every step of the way, we are coming up with the right game plan and the moves to make so that they can get the promotion that they want, so that they can have the success in the workplace that they want. And the bottom line is this: If you're going to build a life that you love, you've got to figure out how to make things good at work. You spend too much of your time and invest too much of yourself at work for it not to be a place where you're getting significant success in return on your investment. And that is what I want for you in this season. Now, if you are ready to develop the skills to really come to the workplace and begin to function, and I'm not talking about your job skills, I'm talking about the skills that are going to help you make an impact in the organization. If you're ready to develop the savvy so that you know the moves to make, that you understand the dynamics at play, that you can begin to navigate and forge relationships, partnerships, and make moves to be able to get to the next level, to create momentum, then I invite you to get connected with me. There's two ways that you can reach out. You can absolutely DM me on social media. I check out my social media messengers. I try to do that at least once a day. Ask your questions. Make sure that you understand how to interpret what's happening at work. The second way to get connected to me is to book a free call. You can access my calendar directly. You can set up time on my calendar where I will give you a call. Not my representative, me. I'm going to call you and I'm going to ask you a series of questions so that I can understand what it is that you're dealing with at work and how I can help you. Once I understand what's going on, then I will have a very clear picture of the next steps that you need to take in order to make success happen at work. I want to help you with that. I want to partner with you on your success journey. So the way that you access my calendar is that you go to www.callwithdenise.live. You can get my calendar right away, book a time for us. I will ask you a series of questions to understand what's going on, and I'll tell you what I believe your next best step is to take. Now, here's the difference between me and a lot of other people. I'm not having these sales calls to pitch you. I am having the sales calls to see if I can help you. And if I can't help you, then I am not going to suggest you buy anything from me, because I'm a success girl, which means there has to be a high degree of probability that I believe working with me is going to help you before I will even talk about that. But even with that, I know that I can come up with what I, through my professional experience, can recommend to you as your best next step. And I believe that that will help you. So connect with me, either DM me on social media or book your free discovery call at www.callwithdenise, and we'll get connected and you will be able to make some momentum begin to happen for you. I want to leave you with this perspective, because oftentimes, because we are so used to leading with our strengths and we're so used to assuming that it's going to work out for us, because in many times in the past it has, we think getting help makes us weak. But I'm telling you, getting help does not make you weak. It makes you wise. I was actually listening to a podcast yesterday when I was out walking. And on this podcast, surprisingly, they were talking about having access to leadership at Facebook and having access to leadership at Amazon with Jeff Bezos. They were saying that those people who enter into leadership roles in those places, they get access to coaches and mentors assigned and financed for them. And to me, that is such an incredible clue. Success leaves clues. If these organizations find it valuable to invest in resources that will coach and mentor them, they are saying that these are markers of success with their leadership. We should pay attention to that. It is not an anomaly that forging coaching and mentoring relationships are thought to change the game. When you bring experience, wisdom, and insight to the table to help you, it is a benefit to you. It's worth your investment. So don't miss that. I thought that that was so powerful when I was listening to that on yesterday. So here's the deal. It's Thursday. I'm looking forward to the weekend. I will be checking in with you next week. I had a call with my business coach this week, and she told me, Denise, you should relieve some of the pressure off of you. yourself. And so I decided to make available these lives once a week. I am going to be doing that on next week, where it'll happen once a week. I will make sure to put on social media when it will happen. I am juggling clients. I am juggling my certification. I told you guys I'm going back to school to get my DEI certification. I am juggling a lot right now, and I want to make sure that I can show up. And I'm committed to showing up here live with you, but I will only do it once a week instead of trying to do it 3 days as I had originally promised. So that is a shift and a pivot for me. But that does not close the door opportunity for you to DM me if you need help or to book a call. Those resources are available to you 24/7. 365. You can DM me any day. You can book a call with me any day. I have some times open next week if you want to get on a call and talk with me more about your career success. So I will look forward to seeing you next week. I hope you guys have a good weekend.